the overhead cost classification. Okay, when you talk about the over page number, am I here? Page number, 1 second. (151) ma, 151 to 196. 151 to 196. Okay, so here just I'll give you the T diagram. Just make a note of it. Classification of the heading is classification of overheads. Classification of overheads. It is divided into three. It is divided into three. By function. First one is by function. Second one is by elements. Third one is by behavior. I repeat once again. First function is by function. Second one is by elements. Third one is by behavior. Okay. So by function. Under by function, you take production overheads. Production overheads. Administration overheads. Just you write, instead of writing full form of overheads, O.H.
Ma'am, can you repeat once again?
Amma?
Can you repeat by function divided?
Production overheads. First one is under by function. First one is production overheads. Second one is administration overheads. Administration overheads. Third one, selling overheads. Fourth one, distribution overheads. Fourth one is distribution overheads. And come to the second one, by elements. By elements. The first one is indirect materials. Indirect materials. Indirect labor. Indirect labor. And indirect expenses. And indirect expenses. By behavior. Fixed overheads. Fixed overheads. Variable overheads. Semi-variable overheads. Semi-variable overheads. If this question comes in the examination, what is overhead? Like, give the definition of it, and then whatever the classification is given by me right now. So that classification you give and give the explanation part. Okay. You want me to repeat the classification once again?
No, ma'am.
Okay, fine.
No, ma'am.
Okay. So here, classification of overheads, as I said that, like, it is divided into three sub-elements. First one is by function, second one is by elements, and by behavior. So by function. So here, when you take the production overheads, like it is also called as factory overheads or works overheads or manufacturing overheads. So these are the indirect expenses which is incurred in order to produce the finished good. Okay. So for example, like you can take lubricants, consumable stores, indirect wages, factory power and light, depreciation of plant and machinery, depreciation of factory building, not office building, factory building, insurance of plant and factory building, storekeeping expenses, repairs and maintenance. This and all you can take it as example under production overheads. So when it comes to the administration overheads, so here administration in the sense it is inclusive of secretarial accounting and as well as the financial control. Okay. So for example, you can take like office rent, stationery, printing, telephone charges, postage, legal expenses, audit fees, office lighting, salaries of the office staff, this and all, you can take it as example under administration overheads. Okay. And then when it comes to the selling overheads, again, like in the selling part, you can take like advertising, salaries, commission of salesperson, showroom expenses, traveling expenses, bad debts, price list, this and all, you can take it as example under selling. When it comes to the distribution part, like here, the examples like packing cost, carriage outwards, delivery van expenses, warehouse expenses, this and all, you can take it as example under distribution overheads. Okay. So on the whole, based on the function, you have like production overheads, administration overheads, and selling and distribution overheads. And the second one, when it comes to the second one, element-wise classification. So element-wise classification, it is divided to three elements, as I said, like indirect material, indirect wages, and indirect expenses. So here, when you talk about the indirect material in the sense, these are the material costs which cannot be allocated, okay, here, but like they can be apportioned, okay, or they can be absorbed by the cost centers or cost units. For example, like stationery, lubricants, coal, tools, for the general use, this and all, you can take it as example under indirect material. When it comes to the indirect wages in the sense, here, these are the wages which cannot be allocated, but it can be apportioned. So whatever the element-wise classification you are taking, so these are the expenses which cannot be allocated, but the thing is, it can be apportioned. For example, under wages, like idle time wages, maintenance and repair wages, home and pay, wages of the sweeper, this and all, you can take it as example under indirect wages. When it comes to the indirect expenses, for example, like power, depreciation, insurance, taxes, rent, rates, this and all, you can take it as example. Okay. When it comes to the classification by behavior, so here in some books it is given as classification by behavior or classification by variability. It is one and the same. So here under this again you have fixed overheads, variable overheads, and semi-variable overheads. Okay. Fixed overheads. Fixed overheads in the sense, this is the cost which is fixed, whatever may be the volume of the production. Here, for example, rent and rates, managerial salaries, building depreciation, postage, stationery, legal expenses, this and all, you can take it as example under fixed overheads. When it comes to the variable overheads in the sense, as the volume of production is increasing in the organization, the variable cost also varies. Okay. Here, variable cost in the sense, your variable overheads in another words, it can also be called as cost. So as the volume of production is increasing, the variable cost varies in the organization. For example, like indirect material, indirect labor, salesman commission, power, light, fuel, this and all, you can take it as example. When it comes to the semi-variable overheads, it is the combination of both fixed overheads and variable overheads. For example, like supervisory salary, depreciation, repairs and maintenance, this and all, you can take it as example for semi-variable overheads. Is this clear, this part? Classification of overheads.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Any doubts?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
No,
Fine.
ma'am.
Next. Here, what is the significance of classifying cost? What we are doing, whatever the cost is incurred in the organization, that is classified, subclassified. Why? What is the significance of classifying the cost? Okay. So what you are doing, you're classifying cost in two different ways. That is fixed cost and variable cost. Why we are classifying? Because this will be helpful. This classification will be helpful in order to prepare the budget, in order to go for the decision making, in order to control the cost. Whatever the cost incurred in order to produce the finished good, okay, you can control cost with the help of classification of fixed and variable cost. Apart from that, you can also find out what is the marginal costing, what is the break-even analysis, what is the absorption of overheads in the organization, and apart from that, it will be helpful for differential as well as the comparative cost analysis. This is the significance of classifying the cost in the organization. And then here, what you are do in the semi-variable cost. So here you need to segregate that segregation of semi-variable cost. So how do you segregate? You are going to segregate based on the high and low points method. Take the points, ma. Segregation of semi-variable cost. Segregation of semi-variable cost. The first one is high and low points method. The high and low points method. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . methods of averages, methods of averages, methods of averages, scatter diagram method, scatter diagram method, simultaneous equations
Ma'am,
method,
can you repeat scatter?
scatter, SCATTER, scatter diagram method, diagram method.
Okay,
The
ma'am.
next one is simultaneous equation method, simultaneous equation method. Okay, so here how do you segregate? You are going to segregate based on, like, we have four methods, that is high and low points method, methods of averages, scatter diagram method, simultaneous equation method. So here in this, like, you have problems, so small formulas are there, just only the thing is you need to substitute the values to get the answer. Just go through the numerical part under this topic. Okay, and then next is like you have apportionment, allocation and apportionment of overheads. So here, take down the objectives. Write the heading as allocation and apportionment of overheads. Overheads. So you take subheading objectives of departmentation. Objectives of departmentalization. Okay. So first one is ensures greater accuracy, in cost ascertainment. Second
Ensure
one is
greater. Ma'am, can you repeat? Ensure greater.
accuracy in cost ascertainment. And the second one is control of overhead costs. Next one is use of different methods of absorption. Next, valuation of work in progress. Next is cost of service of departments. Next, forecasting and estimating. Finished?
Yes, ma'am.
Am I finished?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So here, allocation and apportionment of overheads. So under this, what you are going to do after you collect the overhead cost? Okay. So here, what you are going to do? What is the next step? Next step is to allocate and apportion. First, what you are going to do? You are going to collect all the overhead cost, and then you are going to allocate and apportion. So here, apportion to whom? Apportion to production and service departments. Okay. Here, such what you are doing here, you are allocating and apportioning the overheads to production and service department. Such allocation, apportionment is called as departmentalization. Okay, that is called as department. So in another words, this is also called as primary distribution of overheads. So Here, it is either called as departmentalization or primary distribution of overheads. So, what is meant by departmentalization? So, this means that it is the process of allocation and apportionment of overheads to sorry, to different departments in the organization. So here, why you are going to allocate it? Why? Because for smooth and efficient working. So when you're going to divide the work into different, based on the specialization, when you're dividing it, so at the end, what you're going to get, you're going to get efficient working. Okay, this here you get like efficient quality product. The end product will be quality and efficient product. Okay, so here, uh, when you talk about these departments generally you have like production department and service department. Okay, so here, what is the main objective of departmentalization? Okay, the first one is it ensures the greater accuracy in the cost ascertainment. Okay, so here this is possible. This is possible only with the help of departmentalization. And the second one is control of overhead cost. So here, with the help of this apportionment, with the help of allocation, what happens in the organization? There will be effective control of overheads. Okay, why? Because here sometimes what happens, in the organization, if such allocation, Amma, what ma? If such allocation, something sound is not clear. Is it audible right now?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So here, this control of overheads, it helps the departmentalization, and also it gives the responsibility where you get the efficient product, or else in another words, like you can go for you whatever the elements are taking into consideration, you can control, and here whatever the objective is been predetermined, that objective can be attained. Okay, and here use of different methods of absorption. So here what you are going to do, here you're on basis of apportionment, here you're going to use different methods. Okay, for different cost centers. For example, like machinery rate, which is suitable only for one cost center. And here, likewise, for different cost centers, you're going to use the different methods of absorption. It depends upon the nature of the organization. It depends upon the nature of the department which you have in the organization. And the next one is valuation of work in progress. So here, valuation of work in progress means here to determine the correct cost of work in progress. Okay, here it can, if you're not going to the allocation, if you're not going to the apportionment, you cannot ascertain the overheads, whatever the overheads has been incurred in that particular department. And the next one is cost of service of departments. Here, this departmentation will helps in ascertaining the cost of various service department, which is very much useful for making estimation and also for submitting the quotations. Okay, and the last one is forecasting and estimating. So here, forecasting and estimating, why it is required? Why? Because here it especially for the accurate forecasting and estimating, and also going for the decision making. So this means that here greater accuracy in the cost ascertainment and cost control. This departmentation will ensures the company that you can get more accurate forecasting as well as the estimating. At the end, after this, what you are going to do, you are going to take the decision making in the organization. So here, when you talk about the allocation, so here, what is meant by allocation? Allocation means it is the assignment of whole work, okay, whole work, or in another words, you can call it as whole items of cost directly to the cost centers. In the organization, you don't find only one cost center. You find based on the nature of the activities you perform in the organization, you have different cost centers. So for the different cost centers, what you are going to do, you are going to assign the work for each and every cost center. Okay. So here, when you are assigning it, there are certain conditions. The condition is the cost center must have been caused the overhead cost which has to be incurred. This is the first condition. And the second condition is here whatever the exact amount is incurred in the cost center, it should be known to the person who is dealing with that. Okay, the two conditions which has to be satisfied for allocating is, the first one is cost center must be caused the overhead cost to be incurred, and the second one is the exact amount incurred in the cost center must be known. And the next one is apportionment. What is meant by apportionment? Apportionment in the sense it is the distribution of overheads to more than one cost center is called as apportionment. Okay, there's a difference between this is the definition of apportionment. And here, what is the difference between? Then what is the difference between allocation and apportionment? Okay, here the basic difference between allocation and apportionment is here. Here for both the things, the purpose of both cost allocation and cost apportionment. Okay, here that means that it is the identification or allotment of items to the cost centers or cost units in the organization. Okay, so here when you talk about the difference between these two procedures is, while allocation, it deals with the whole items of cost, whereas apportionment, it deals with the proportion of the items of cost. This is the major difference between allocation and apportionment. So here, when you take the production and service department, okay, so as I said that like departments are classified into production and service department. So here in the production department, for example, like you find like weaving, spinning, okay, finishing department, grinding, mixing, crushing, this and all, you can take it as example under production department. Whereas when it comes to the service department, like you can take examples like purchasing department, stores department, personnel department, inspection department, labor welfare department, accounting department, and even you can take canteen as example under service department. Okay, so here so you know the difference between allocation and apportionment. So here, in order to go for the apportionment, there are certain principles. Okay, take on the heading as principles of apportionment. Principles of apportionment. Okay, principles of apportionment. First one is service or use. Service or use. Service or use. And the second one is survey method.
Ma'am, principles of?
Principles of apportionment. APPORTIONMENT.
Service and use, second one, ma'am.
Survey method. Survey method. Third one, ability to pay method. Ability to pay method. So, here the principles of apportionment, it is based on the service or use or survey method or ability to pay method. Here in this apportionment, you have problems. Okay, so like small problems is there. How to like one chart in your textbook, I think one chart also is given. What are the basis for apportionment? Just go through that apportionment. Based on that, you have to do the problems. Production account and that. One second, I'll tell you where is the apportionment. Amma, it is given in page number 164. Page number 164. Factory overhead expenses and basis of apportionment is given. So how we are going to apportion it based on that? Like you have like small problems are there. Just try to solve the problems. Okay. Okay. Next one. Yeah. Take that. Apportionment of service department overheads. Apportionment of Take the T diagram. Apportionment of service department overheads. This is divided into two types. Apportionment to, first one is apportionment to production departments only. Apportionment to production departments only. Next one is apportionment to production and service departments. Apportion to production and service departments. Okay, take down. Here, apportion to production and other service department again classified into two: non-reciprocal.
Can you repeat apportionment to production department? Two types.
To production and service departments. The second one, the first one is apportionment to production department only. Okay, and the second one is apportionment of production and other service department. Got it? Now, in the classification part, second one, whatever is given, that is again divided into two. That is apportionment, production and other service department classified into two. First one is non-reciprocal and reciprocal. Okay. Again, reciprocal is divided into three. Reciprocal is divided into three. Simultaneous equations method. The first one is simultaneous equations method. Second one is repeated distribution method. And the third one is trial and error method. Okay. So here, this chart is all about distribution of service department overheads. So it is classified into two, as I said, that apportionment of production department and apportionment of production and service department. In this also, like you have small numericals is there. So on what basis you are going to apportion it? Okay, based on that you need to calculate. Okay. So here, even in this you have problems. Go through the problems, and you have different methods: reciprocal method, non-reciprocal method. So for all this, so here you have reciprocal method and non-reciprocal method. So under this also you have numericals. So here, and again you have numericals on trial and error method. You have numericals on repeated distribution method. Okay. So these are the small problems are there. So first try to learn like how we are going to apportion it. What is the basis for the apportionment of factory overheads? Based on that, you have to calculate the problems. Okay. And then here, write the heading as absorption of overheads. Okay. Yeah. Take down. Or else, first one is computation of overhead absorption rate. Computation of overheads absorption rate. And the second one is application of these rates.
Ma'am, can you please repeat first one again?
Computation of overheads absorption rate. And the second one is application of these rates. Application of these rates to cost units. To cost units. Application of these rates to cost unit. Okay. So here, the first one is computation of overheads absorption rate. Okay. So here under this, like absorption rates, like they are computed for the purpose of what? For the purpose of absorption of overheads in the cost of the cost units. And here again under this, like you have machinery rate, labor hours, direct labor cost, price cost, this and all you have. And here under this also, like you have problems are there, small formulas and problems are there. Try to solve the problems. Uh, and then the second one is methods of absorption of takedown. Takedown under this. Methods of absorption of overheads, production overheads. Methods of absorption of production overheads. First one is direct materials. Direct materials cost percentage rate. Direct materials cost percentage rate.
Ma'am, can you repeat direct material?
Cost percentage rate. And the next one is direct labor cost percentage rate. Direct labor cost percentage rate. The third one is prime cost percentage rate. Prime cost percentage rate. Next, direct labor hour rate. Direct labor hour rate.
Direct labor.
Hour, HOUR, hour rate. Machine hour rate. Machine hour rate. Okay, and rate per unit of output. Rate per unit of output. These are the methods which are available under methods of absorption. And for each and every method, like you have advantages, disadvantages. Try to go through the notes, and then like formulas are there. And in the examination, like if this problem is given, simply mug up the problem. Mug up the formula, substitute the values, you get the answer. For all these methods, all the 6 methods, like you have advantages and disadvantages and explanation, including the numerical part. Okay, is this clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, yeah. Next is selling and distribution. Selling and distribution. Okay, so here, what is the difference between selling and distribution? Selling cost and distribution cost. Okay, so here, when you talk about the selling and distribution cost, here these are the costs which are usually incurred after producing of products. After you produce a finished good in the organization, what happens again? You need to send the products into the market, isn't it? Okay, so first after producing the finished good, this means that after production, whatever the costs are incurred to reach the ultimate customer, this is called as selling and distribution overheads. So here, selling cost, it means it is the cost in order to create and stimulate the demand. Okay, stimulate the demand, and also like to get the orders or securing the orders is the selling cost. Examples like you can take like samples, free gifts, showroom expenses, advertisement, this and all, you can take it as example under selling cost. Distribution cost. Distribution cost in the sense, here it is the cost of like operations which begins with which begins with packing the material, okay, and which is available for dispatch and ends with the whatever, returned packages, okay. If at all, if any packages, for example, nowadays what we are doing, when you order in Zepto and all, what is happening, they ask you whether you want the bag or not. If at all, if you don't want the bag, you can return the bag, isn't it? You can return the bag. So here means, here when you are returning the bag, that bag again it is reused. Okay, so in the distribution cost, if at all, if any such cases are there here, which is available for reuse, this and all comes under the distribution cost. For example, like carriage outwards, insurance of goods in transit, maintenance of delivery vans, warehousing, this and all you can take it as example under distribution cost. So here, when you talk about the features of this selling and distribution, like selling and distribution, it cannot be identified with the units of the products. And here, selling cost, it is the cost which is incurred as the policy of management. Here, and one more thing, like selling costs, these are not always related to the volume of sales. Generally, what we think when you talk about the selling cost is always related to the volume of sales, but it is not exactly related to the volume of sales. If volume of sales is not there, also selling cost is incurred. Okay, so apart from that, selling cost, it depends upon the degree of the competition. Okay, degree of, for example, if more competitors are there in the market, so you try to reduce the selling cost, isn't it? If no competitors in the market, you increase the selling cost. So that means that you're based on the competitors' degree of competition in the market, selling cost either increases or decreases. Okay, so here again for selling and distribution also you have accounting treatment. With the accounting treatment under this, it consists of classification, collection, analysis of all the expenses which is incurred under this, and then you are going to apportion them and you are going to allocate to the different cost centers which is there in the organization, and apart from that, absorption by the products or products goods. These are the stages which this is the accounting treatment which is incurred for selling and distribution overheads. Okay, and here same for this also, you are going to apportion and you are going to apportion and you are going to allocate to the different cost centers. And here in your textbook again, like expenses is given and basis for distribution is given. On what basis you are going to do it, that part is given. Try to go through that. Okay, why? Because you have to do the problems based on this basis of distribution. Okay, and here when you talk about the classification and collection and analysis of the expenses, for example, you can take under this basis of product sales, that is channel of distribution, salesman, this and all, you can take it as example under classification. Okay, so here when you talk about the absorption, again, you have a rate per unit of sales, writing off to the cost, profit, and costing P&L account, carrying over to the next year. So here these are the different methods, and here under different methods, again you have numerical part is there. So go through the basis of apportionment, go through the basis of allocation, and then you can do the problems. So these are the things which you find in selling and distribution, administration expenses, and factory overheads. So this is all about the overheads. Is this clear, this part? Is this clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So if at all, if you have any doubts, just go to your textbook. Just you have any doubts, you can ask me questions. And in the numericals also, only the thing is problems are very simple. Need not worry about the problems. Just go through the formulas, and then simply substitution part will be there. By substituting it, you get the answer. Okay, formulas also are very simple. Go through that. Learn the formulas. Okay, and then before you do the problem, try to read the problem once, twice, thrice, and then do the problem. Why? Because what all is given in the problem, you should know first. Okay, based on that, you can do the problems. You can solve the problems. So I'll give you all 5 minutes time. Just go through up to page 196. Okay, 151 to 196. Go through these, and then any questions you can ask me. And even if I have any questions in the previous class, also you can ask me. Numerical part. Next class, I want to extend another half an hour so that we will do in the next class. I'll be discussing about unit costing, job costing, contract costing, process costing. If at all, if we have time, also we'll try to solve one problem. Is this clear?
Yes, ma'am. We have two classes, 21st and 28th.
21st time?
28th maybe.
Okay, fine. So one class we will take it
21st and 28th, ma'am.
21st and 28th. Okay, fine.
28th.
28th. So ask your classmates to attend, okay, without fail. We will do that.
Okay, ma'am.
That class will be on 28th. It's full of numericals, all numericals, right from first unit. We will do start more problems. This is clear. And meanwhile,
Okay,
what you
ma'am.
people do, like try to learn the formulas.
Okay, ma'am.
Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Important questions. That's what I told you. You add my name in the group so that I can give the important questions. But the thing is, you people are not adding my name in the group. I cannot share it. Okay. So even important questions I'll discuss on 28th. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. I'll discuss important questions. I'll give important questions. Apart from that, we will do numericals also. So meanwhile, try to go through the notes which is given to you all from the university. And any doubts, any numerical part not able to understand, okay, that and all you can clarify on 28th. Okay, we have ample time.
Okay, ma'am.
So today is 7th. So 28th, another 20 days is there. So 20 days, these 20 days. When are your exams?
February 26th.
Ma'am.
Okay. Hmm?
We'll
So,
start from 26th, ma'am.
Amma,
26th. February 26th.
February 20.
February 26th, no? Oh, yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
ample time is there. Okay. So we will do it. You need not worry about the numerical part. I'll discuss all the. What is this, ma? Ma, what is this? Question paper?
Ma'am, yes, ma'am. This question number 13th A. How to solve that problem, ma'am?
13A. Can you zoom
Yes,
that? Font is very small, ma. From the following, calculate the machine hour rate. You want to do it?
yes, ma'am.
That uh, you share it to my number. I'll share my number. I'll give you a number. Take my number
Okay, ma'am.
9290
One 92
90
90
657
657
952
952.
52.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, share that. We'll try to solve in the class right now. Uma, I did not get the question. Uma, did you share the question? Hello? Hello? Hello. Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
State the
Yes,
question to me. I'll explain it. Gayatri Yadava. Amma continuation.
మ్యామ్ పెట్టాను మ్యామ్ వాట్సాప్లో.
Amma చూడు ఎట్లా చేయాలో చెప్తాను చూడు నేను. Here, from the following, calculate the machine hour rate for the month of April 2020. Okay. So here, cost of the machine is given, estimate scrap value is given, machine lifetime working hours is given. So when it is given, what you have to do, you have to calculate like standing charges. You have to calculate depreciation, ma. Okay. Hours worked in 2020, 1000 hours, estimate repeats of lifetime. Okay, power per hour 20 units, fixed expenses. అమ్మా మీకు ప్రొఫార్మా ఇచ్చారా మీకు? ఇది ఒక నిమిషం.
ఇది అర్థం అవ్వట్లేదు మ్యామ్, ఏ చాప్టర్ నుంచి క్వశ్చన్?
అమ్మా ఇప్పుడు మనకి ఇది ఇచ్చారు కదా, ఏది ఫస్ట్
It's from 11th unit, ma'am.
11th యూనిట్ పేజ్ నెంబర్ చెప్పండి అమ్మా.
పేజ్ నంబర్ మ్యామ్ 153
It is 179. 79 machine hour rate.
179. మెషిన్ ఆర్ రేట్ ఉంది కదా మీకు, ఇది మొత్తం ఇవ్వలేదు మీకు. నేను ప్రొఫార్మా గీసి నేను ఇప్పుడు ఎవరైతే నంబర్ ఇచ్చారో ఆ నంబర్ కి షేర్ చేయనా?
మ్యామ్ నేను గ్రూప్ లో పెట్టేస్తాను మ్యామ్.
నువ్వు గ్రూప్ లో పెట్టాము. నేను ఏం చేస్తాను, ఇది సమ్ ఒక 1 hour అయిన తర్వాత నేను ఈ సమ్ సాల్వ్ చేసేసి నేను నీకు పెడతాను. నేను పెట్టేసి నువ్వు గ్రూప్ లో షేర్ చేసేసి.
ఓకే మ్యామ్.
నేను క్యాల్కులేట్ చేసి పెట్టేస్తాను. ఇది కరెక్టే ఉంది కదా, ఇంతే ఉన్నాయి కదా?
అంతే ఉన్నాయి మ్యామ్, అంతే ఉంది.
అంతే ఉన్నాయా?
మొత్తం 7 పాయింట్స్ ఉన్నాయి మ్యామ్. 7 ఉన్నాయి మొత్తం.
అమ్మా
7 పాయింట్స్ ఉన్నాయి మ్యామ్ మొత్తం.
7 పాయింట్స్ ఉన్నాయి అంతే కదా?
అంతే
నేను
మ్యామ్.
ఇది చేసేసి లేకపోతే ఒక 10 minutes లో నేను చేసి నేను పెడతాను. మీన్ వైల్ ఏమైనా క్వశ్చన్స్ ఉన్నాయా ఇంకా?
ఇంకేం లేవు మ్యామ్, అదొకటే అర్థం అవ్వలేదు.
ఇది నేను ఇప్పుడు ఒక 10-15 minutes లో మీకు ఈ సొల్యూషన్ నేను చేసి మీకు పెడతాను. ఓకే
ఓకే మ్యామ్.
సరేనా? నెక్స్ట్ క్లాస్ లో
14th వన్ సెల్లింగ్ అండ్ డిస్ట్రిబ్యూషన్ కదా మ్యామ్?
అమ్మా నాకు వినపడట్లేదు.
14th వన్ ది సెల్లింగ్ అండ్ డిస్ట్రిబ్యూషన్ కదా మ్యామ్ ప్రాబ్లం? దానికి 14th వన్.
14th దా ఒక్క నిమిషం చూస్తాను. From the following motors, prepare a statement of cost estimating the cost sheet. అమ్మా ఇది కాస్ట్ షీట్. ఇది మీకు నెక్స్ట్ చాప్టర్ లో వస్తుంది. ఇది
ఓకే మ్యామ్.
ఓకే
ఓకే మ్యామ్.
ఇది కాస్ట్ షీట్. ఇది సెల్లింగ్ అండ్ డిస్ట్రిబ్యూషన్ కాదు, ఇది కాస్ట్ షీట్. అంటే ప్రైమ్ కాస్ట్ ఎట్లా కనుక్కుంటారు, వర్క్స్ కాస్ట్ ఇవన్నీ ఉంటాయి కదా, అవన్నీ మీకు కాస్ట్ షీట్. నేను కాస్ట్ షీట్ కి మీరు నాకు గ్రూప్ లో యాడ్ చేస్తే నేను ఇటువంటి అన్ని ప్రొఫార్మర్స్, ఈ మిషన్ రేట్వి ఇటువంటివన్నీ ప్రొఫార్మర్స్ పెట్టేస్తే విల్ బి ఈజీ ఫర్ యూ ఆల్. ఎందుకంటే మీకు ఇందులో మీ టెక్స్ట్ బుక్ లో ప్రొఫార్మర్స్ లేవు మీకు. ఓకే సో ఆ ప్రొఫార్మర్ పెడితే మీకు ఈజీగా మీరు సమ్స్ సాల్వ్ చేయొచ్చు. సో ఇప్పుడు అమ్మ నీ పేరేంటి? ఇప్పుడు చెప్పమ్మా.
మ్యామ్ నేను అడ్మిన్ కి చెప్తాను మ్యామ్, గ్రూప్ అడ్మిన్ కి యాడ్ చేయమని.
అవునమ్మా,
ప్రాబ్లం సొల్యూషన్ చెప్పింది.
4 classes నుంచి చెప్తున్నా అది.
అది వాళ్ళు
యాడ్
యాడ్ చేయట్లేదు మ్యామ్. అసలు రిక్వెస్ట్ చేస్తుంటే కూడా ప్లేస్ లేదు అని అంటున్నారు. ఇనఫ్ ప్లేస్ లేదు అంటున్నారు మ్యామ్.
అయితే ఇప్పుడు ఎవరు పంపించారు? ఈ అమ్మాయి పేరు గాయత్రి యాదవా?
అవును మ్యామ్.
నేను ఫీడ్ చేసుకుంటాను. నేను ఇవన్నీ ప్రొఫార్మర్స్ ఇవన్నీ చేసిన అన్ని నేను నీకు పెడతాను, నువ్వు గ్రూప్ లో షేర్ చేసేసి.
ఓకే మ్యామ్. ఓకే మ్యామ్. ఓకే
నేను ఇప్పుడే నీ పేరు యాడ్ చేసుకుంటున్నాను. సో అది బెటర్ కదమ్మా.
ఓకే మ్యామ్. మళ్ళీ కూడా ఒకసారి చెప్తాను మ్యామ్ అడ్మిన్ కి. ఒకవేళ యాడ్ అవుతే యాడ్ చేస్తారేమో.
మళ్ళీ ఒకసారి చెప్పు. ఒకవేళ కాదు అన్న ప్రాబ్లం ఏం లేదు, నేను నీకు పోస్ట్ చేస్తాను, నువ్వు గ్రూప్ లో పోస్ట్ చేసేసి.
ఓకే మ్యామ్. ఓకే
సరేనా?
ఓకే
నేను సమ్ చేసేసి నేను నీకు పోస్ట్ చేస్తాను మనకు. ఇంకేమైనా క్వశ్చన్స్ ఉన్నాయా?
మ్యామ్ నాకు సొల్యూషన్ ప్రాబ్లం దొరికింది.
సొల్యూషన్ దొరికిందా, ప్రాబ్లం దొరికిందా?
ఐ మీన్ నా ప్రాబ్లమ్ ది సొల్యూషన్ దొరికింది.
వచ్చేసిందా? ఓకే.
పేజ్ నెంబర్
బుక్ లో ఉంది. పేజ్ నెంబర్ 156.
పేజ్ నెంబర్
లైక్ టెక్స్ట్ బుక్ లో కాదు మ్యామ్, స్టడీ మెటీరియల్ ఉంది అందులో. నేను ఫోటో పెట్టాను చూడండి చాట్ లో.
చాట్లో పెట్టావమ్మా. అది ఒక్కసారి నాకు పోస్ట్ చేయి. ఉంది కదా స్టాండింగ్ ఛార్జెస్. సో ఇప్పుడు నేను చెప్తా చూడు, ఓవర్వ్యూ చెప్తాను చూడు. మెషిన్ అవర్ రేట్, హౌ టు కంప్యూట్ మెషిన్ అవర్ రేట్. మనకి ఏముంటాయి? స్టాండింగ్ ఛార్జెస్ వీ హ్యావ్ టు క్యాల్కులేట్. ఓకే, ఆ స్టాండింగ్ ఛార్జెస్ లో ఏమేమి తీసుకుంటామో చెప్తాను. ఓకే, సో స్టాండింగ్ ఛార్జెస్ లో యూ టేక్ ఇన్సూరెన్స్ ప్రీమియం, యూ టేక్ రిపేర్స్ అండ్ మెయింటెనెన్స్, యూ టేక్ రెంట్, యూ టేక్ లైట్నింగ్ ఛార్జెస్. సో అన్ని అయిపోయిన తర్వాత టోటల్ స్టాండింగ్ ఛార్జెస్ వస్తాయి. సో ఆఫ్టర్ దాట్ అగైన్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు క్యాల్కులేట్ వేరియబుల్. మీకు అవర్లీ రేట్ స్టాండింగ్ ఛార్జెస్ కూడా ఇట్ విల్ బి గివెన్ ఇన్ ది ప్రాబ్లమ్, యూ నీడ్ టు క్యాల్కులేట్ దాట్. సో ఆఫ్టర్ యూ క్యాల్కులేట్ దాట్ అగైన్ యూ టేక్ వేరియబుల్ ఛార్జెస్. వేరియబుల్ ఛార్జెస్ లో ఏమేమి వస్తాయి? డిప్రిసియేషన్, ఎలక్ట్రిసిటీ వస్తుంది. ఓకే, దీస్ ఆర్ ద టూ ఎలిమెంట్స్. డిప్రిసియేషన్, ఎలక్ట్రిసిటీ, రిపేర్స్, పవర్. ఓకే, పవర్ అన్న ఎలక్ట్రిసిటీ అన్న ఒకటే. ఓకే, ఈ ఎలిమెంట్స్ వస్తాయి వేరియబుల్స్ లో. సో ఇవన్నీ చేసిన తర్వాత మొత్తం ఇవి యాడ్ చేస్తే మీకు మెషిన్ రేట్ వస్తుంది. అర్థమైందా? టోటల్ స్టాండింగ్ ఛార్జెస్. ఓకే, టోటల్ స్టాండింగ్ ఛార్జెస్ మళ్ళీ తర్వాత టోటల్ వేరియబుల్ ఛార్జెస్ యాడ్ చేస్తే మీకు మెషిన్ రేట్ వస్తుంది.
మ్యామ్ ఫిక్స్డ్
చెప్పండి.
ఎక్స్పెన్సెస్ అన్న వేరియబుల్ చార్జెస్ అని ఒకటేనా మ్యామ్?
మాకు ఫిక్స్డ్ ఎక్స్పెన్సెస్ వేరు, వేరియబుల్ ఎక్స్పెన్సెస్ వేరు. ఓకే, ఫిక్స్డ్ ఎక్స్పెన్సెస్, వేరియబుల్ ఎక్స్పెన్సెస్ ఒకటే కాదు. ఫిక్స్డ్ ఎక్స్పెన్సెస్ వేరు, వేరియబుల్ ఎక్స్పెన్సెస్ వేరు. ఓకే, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇన్సూరెన్స్ ప్రీమియం పే చేస్తున్నారు. ఇన్సూరెన్స్ ప్రీమియం పే చేసినప్పుడు అది ఎవ్రీ ఇయర్ ఫిక్స్డ్ అమౌంట్ పే చేస్తారు కదా, అది ఫిక్స్డ్ ఎక్స్పెన్సెస్ కింద వస్తుంది. సో ఈ ఫిక్స్డ్ ఎక్స్పెన్సెస్ నువ్వు స్టాండింగ్ ఛార్జెస్ కింద తీసుకుంటావు. ఓకే, స్టాండింగ్ ఛార్జెస్ అన్నా ఫిక్స్డ్ ఎక్స్పెన్సెస్ అన్నా ఒకటే.
అంటే వర్కింగ్ అవర్స్ వర్క్డ్ ఇన్ ఏప్రిల్ 2023 అది తీసుకోవాలా మ్యామ్?
అవర్స్ వర్క్డ్ ఇన్
ఏప్రిల్ 2003
ఎక్కడుంది అవర్స్ వర్క్డ్ అని?
క్వశ్చన్ లో ఉంది మ్యామ్. ఆమె షేర్ చేసింది కదా.
షేర్ చేసిన క్వశ్చన్ లో ఉందా?
అవును మ్యామ్.
ఇక్కడ కాస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ది మెషిన్, ఎస్టిమేట్ స్క్రాప్ వాల్యూ, మెషిన్ లైఫ్ టైం, వర్కింగ్ అవర్స్ అని ఇచ్చారు కదా. దీంతో మనం ఏం క్యాల్కులేట్ చేస్తాము? దీంతో మనం డిప్రిసియేషన్ క్యాల్కులేట్ చేస్తాము. సో ఇప్పుడు చూడు, కాస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద మెషిన్ మనకి ఎంత ఉంది? 1,80,000 ఉంది కదా. ఎస్టిమేట్ స్క్రాప్ వాల్యూ 30,000 ఉంది. 1,80,000 మైనస్ 30,000 1,50,000 వస్తుంది. ఓకే, సో డిప్రిసియేషన్ ఏంది? ఇది కాస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ది అసెట్ మైనస్ స్క్రాప్ వాల్యూ డివైడెడ్ బై లైఫ్ టైమ్ ఆఫ్ ది అసెట్. రాసుకున్నాక డిప్రిసియేషన్ ఫార్ములా.
చెప్పండి మ్యామ్.
కాస్ట్ ఆఫ్ మెషిన్ మైనస్ స్క్రాప్ వాల్యూ divided by lifetime working hours. Divided by lifetime working hours. ఓకే, ఇప్పుడు నీకు సమ్ లో స్క్రాప్ వాల్యూ ఇవ్వలేదు అనుకో, కాస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద మెషిన్ ఇచ్చాడు 1,80,000 డివైడెడ్ బై 50,000 చేయాలి. అర్థమైందా? డిప్రిసియేషన్ ఇప్పుడు ఈ 3 వాల్యూస్ ఇచ్చారు కదా 1 2 3 ఇది ఉట్టి క్యాల్కులేటింగ్ డిప్రిసియేషన్ కి అవసరం వస్తుంది, ఇంకా వేరే దానికి అవసరం రాదు. ఓకే, మళ్ళీ అవర్స్ వర్క్ ఇన్ ఏప్రిల్ 2020 ఎన్ని అవర్స్ వర్క్ చేసిండ్రు? 1000 అవర్స్ వర్క్ చేసిండ్రు. సో 1000 అవర్స్ వర్క్ చేసింది ఏంటి? అది మీకు ఏది అంటే మనకి మొత్తానికి ఎన్ని అవర్స్ చేసిండ్రు అనేది తెలుస్తుంది అనమాట. అంటే మొత్తము ఫిక్స్డ్ ఎక్స్పెన్సెస్ పర్ మెషిన్ 1000 రూపీస్ ఇక్కడ. ఓకే
ఓకే మ్యామ్.
మళ్ళీ ఎస్టిమేట్ రిపేర్స్ ఆఫ్ లైఫ్ టైం. ఓకే, రిపేర్స్ ఎట్లా చేస్తావు? ఎస్టిమేట్ రిపేర్స్ ఏంటుంది? 50,000 ఉంది కదా. మళ్ళీ లైఫ్ టైం ఎంత ఉంది? మన మెషినరీ మనకి థర్డ్ దాంట్లో 50 hours అని ఉంది కదా, 50,000 ఉంది కదా.
ఎస్ మ్యామ్.
ఆ 50,000 ఈ 50,000 డివైడ్ చేస్తే మీకు 1 వస్తుంది.
20 into 1 20 పవర్.
అదమ్మా ఇక్కడ ఎస్టిమేట్ రిపేర్స్ కి
అదే మా దాని తర్వాత పవర్ ఇచ్చారు 20
పవర్ ఇచ్చారు 20 యూనిట్స్. ఒక యూనిట్ కి 1 రూపీ. ఒక యూనిట్ 2 రూపీస్ అయితే 40 రూపీస్ వస్తుంది. 1 ఇచ్చారు కాబట్టి 20 రూపీస్ వస్తుంది అక్కడ. ఓకే, అప్పుడు ఎంత
ప్రొఫార్మా కూడా ఇదేనా మ్యామ్? సేమ్ మ్యామ్ ప్రొఫార్మా?
అంటే ప్రొఫార్మాలో ఇక్కడ మీకు సమ్ లో ఫిక్స్డ్ ఎక్స్పెన్సెస్ అని అదొక్కటే ఇచ్చింది అనమాట. సో ఏంటంటే దాంట్లో ఇన్సూరెన్స్ ప్రీమియం వస్తుంది, రిపేర్స్ అండ్ మెయింటెనెన్స్ వస్తుంది, రెంట్ వస్తుంది, లైటింగ్ ఛార్జెస్ వస్తుంది. ఆ ప్రొఫార్మా నేను గీసి పంపిస్తాను నేను. ఓకే
ఓకే
అర్థమైంది సమ్ ఇప్పుడు?
Ma'am, please explain in English, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So here what is given in the problem? Cost of machine is given, estimated scrap value is given, and effective working life of the machine hours is given, isn't it? So here these 3 elements that 1 2 3 it is helpful in order to calculate the depreciation. So how to calculate the depreciation? Cost of the machine minus scrap value divided by the lifetime of the machine. So here that is cost of the machine is 1,80,000 and the scrap value is 30,000 divided by lifetime is 50,000. So here 1,80,000 minus 30,000 it comes to 1,50,000 divided by 50,000 you get 3. 3 is the answer, depreciation. Is this clear? Is this clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now when it comes to the repairs part, repairs, how much is given? Estimated cost of repairs and annual maintenance over the working life of the machine is 50,000. Okay, so here this estimated is given as 50,000, but working life of the machinery also is given as 50,000, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, 50,000 divided by 50,000 you get 1.
Yes.
And then power is given. How many units have been consumed? 20 units have been consumed. At the rate of what? At the rate of 1 rupee. 20 into 1, you get 20 rupees.
Yes.
Okay. So here you are adding this machine expenses. You are adding depreciation, repairs and power. When you add this, it is coming to 24 rupees.
Yes.
Okay. And the fixed expenses, it is 1. So totally it comes to 25 rupees. So machine hour rate is 25 rupees.
Ma'am, this type of questions are not given in the textbook.
It is not
in
given.
Our reader.
No, it is not.
Yes, ma'am.
It is
but
not
they
given.
are in appearing in the exams.
So they are appearing in exam.
Giving...
So what I'll do, one sample question, I'll post it in the group, post it to this, what is her name? Gayatri, no? Huh?
Yes,
so
ma'am.
sample question, right now I'm posting it. Okay, try to solve this problem. If at all, if you're able to do it, or else next class I'll explain once again. Okay? See, I posted. Amma, ఇది నీ group లో post చేసేసి కనపడుతుందా మొత్తం? కనపడుతుంది కదా. Okay, ఇది ఒక sample question. So likewise, you try to ask questions, numerical part, ఏ దాంట్లో మీకు కావాలి అనేది. So I'll try to share the proforma as well as sample questions, even exercise questions also. This is the exercise question, like I have posted it. Try to solve this. అమ్మ పోస్ట్ చేసేసావా గ్రూప్ లో?
మ్యామ్ పోస్ట్ చేసేసా.
సో ఈ సమ్ చేయండి అమ్మా, ఈజీగా ఉంటది. ఓకే, అర్థం కాకపోతే నెక్స్ట్ క్లాస్లో నన్ను అడగండి, లేకపోతే నన్ను నాకు కాల్ చేశాను మీరు మాట్లాడొచ్చు. ఓకే
ఓకే మ్యామ్.
ఓకే మా, సరే చలో. షల్ ఐ వైండ్ అప్ ద సెషన్?
ఎస్ మ్యామ్.
ఓకే,
థ్యాంక్
ఎనీ
యూ
డౌట్స్?
మ్యామ్.
ఎనీ డౌట్స్? నో ఎనీ క్లారిఫికేషన్ మా?
నో మ్యామ్.
ఓకే ఓకే, బాయ్.
ఓకే మ్యామ్,
మ్యామ్
థ్యాంక్ యూ.
సేమ్ ప్రాబ్లమా మ్యామ్? మిషన్ అవర్ ప్రాబ్లమేనా
ఆ
మ్యామ్?
మెషిన్ అవర్ ప్రాబ్లమ్, కంప్యూటర్ మెషిన్ ఆ రేట్ ప్రాబ్లం అది.
ఓకే
ఓకే, సో అది
Okay.
చెయ్యండి, సాల్వ్ చేయండి. రాలేదు అని అంటే నాకు ఒకసారి పింక్ చేయమ్మా గాయత్రి.
మ్యామ్ నేను సాల్వ్ చేసి మీకు పెడతాను మ్యామ్. ఒకవేళ కరెక్ట్ అయితే ఎస్ లేదా నో అని చెప్పండి మ్యామ్.
నో అని చెప్తాను, నో అయితే నేను సాల్వ్ చేసి నేను నీకు పెడతాను. ఓకే
ఓకే మ్యామ్. ఓకే
ఓకే అమ్మా, బాయ్ బాయ్.